Today I have such an exciting video. Is Palantir stock about to explode? The stock is up over 15% in the past month. But Palantir rocketed up nearly 8% in after-hours trading on Friday after Palantir was added to the S&P 500. So is Palantir set for a new all-time high in the coming weeks? In this video, I'm going to analyze Palantir's stock and what we can expect in the short term, but I will also discuss a reason why Palantir might keep on rising throughout 2024 and 2025. This is a must-watch video for Palantir stockholders. Before we get into the video, if you find any value in this, can I ask you to smash the like button? It literally costs you nothing, but it helps me out so much. I'm aiming to get 400 likes on this video. Help me hit that goal. Subscribe to the channel and hit the bell notification if you're new so you don't miss out on any new content like this. I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice, so always do your own due diligence. Now there's a lot to discuss, so let's get straight into it. So what is Palantir Technologies? Palantir is a software company that builds the world's leading platforms for data-driven operations and decision-making. Palantir specializes in data analytics. Its software lets businesses capture and integrate data, develop and manage AI and machine learning models, and build applications that incorporate those data sets and models. These applications help workers make better decisions, and Palantir develop long-term partnerships with organizations, working together to help them realize the value in their data and transform how they operate. The company provides solutions for many industries, such as automotive, cyber, financial compliance, law enforcement, and defense forces, among others. It serves various private enterprises, public institutions, and non-profit organizations. Palantir is a fully global company and has operations in North America, Europe, Asia, and the Middle East, but Palantir is headquartered in the US. So that's a very simple breakdown of what Palantir is and what they do. Now, Palantir recently debuted a new product called AIP, or Artificial Intelligence Platform, which brings support for large language models and generative AI to its existing software. With industry analysts having praised Palantir for its technology developments, ranking Palantir as a leader in the artificial intelligence and machine learning and data science market in many reports over the past 2 years. Looking at the recent investors' presentation, Palantir reported encouraging financial results in Q2. Palantir beat analyst estimates with very encouraging results, pretty much exactly what I predicted in my Palantir earnings preview video, and the stock has been on the rise ever since. US commercial revenue grew 55% year over year, and total revenue grew 27%, but only 7% from the previous quarter. Its customer count climbed 13% from the previous quarter and a whopping 83% year over year, with the average existing customer spending more. In turn, revenue increased to $678 million, and Palantir recorded GAAP EPS growth of 500% and an adjusted EPS of 9 cents. Now, importantly, Palantir recorded their 6th consecutive quarter of GAAP operating profitability and their 7th consecutive quarter of GAAP profitability. This is important and paves the way for a bigger development that I will be speaking about in just a moment. In a lot of ways, Q2 2024 was by far Palantir's best quarter to date. They have increased their income, they have increased their customer base, signed 96 new deals of at least $1 million or more, and Palantir have ended the quarter in a better position than before with no debt and $4 billion in cash and cash equivalents. But Palantir also signed major new deals in recent months, such as the deal with Tampa General Hospital, a deal with Starlab, and a partnership with Polaris, and this is on top of agreements earlier in the year, such as the deal with the US Army to deliver the Titan next-generation deep sensing capability, which is worth over $180 million, or the deal with Oracle to provide secure platform and AI solutions that power businesses and governments around the world. With guidance set for Q3 of between $697 million and $701 million, Palantir did also raise their full year 2024 guidance yet again, estimating 2024 sales of between $2.74 and $2.75 billion, and expect to report free cash flow of between $800 million and $1 billion this year, providing the company with enough room to target acquisitions and invest heavily in organic growth. Dell and Palantir have both been chosen to join the S&P 500 and shares of both jumped in after hours on Friday. But what exactly does this mean for Palantir? Palantir will take the place of American Airlines and Dell is replacing Etsy according to the latest rebalancing. Shares of companies added to the benchmark often rally after the announcement because fund managers who track the index regularly update their portfolios to mirror the additions. Now, to join the S&P 500, a company must meet a number of criteria, and one of these is that they must have reported profit in the latest quarter and have cumulative profit over the 4 most recent quarters. In the second quarter, Palantir's net income totaled $135 million, up from $27 million in the same period a year earlier. Annual revenue growth has accelerated for 4 quarters in a row, and this is something that I spoke about in my recent Palantir videos. The company has been eligible to join the S&P 500 for a while now, and I had expected Palantir to be included in the S&P 500 at the last rebalancing. They were left out by Standard & Poor's that time, but after Palantir's latest earnings report, I felt certain that the company would not be left out again. Now, joining the S&P 500 will bring huge benefits for Palantir stock because for the large institutions, there is an expected large amount of buying and holding of the S&P 500. Even for funds that would primarily invest into the S&P 500 who would not have previously been buying into individual tech stocks like Palantir, they will now be buying as part of the index. So first of all, we can expect that Palantir stock will rise next, and in the short term, it's a nice catalyst, but in the long term, this will bring less volatility and a higher institutional ownership. So what happens next for Palantir? The index inclusion definitely means that you are a top company. After all, this is the best 500 companies available. But where will Palantir Technology stock be in 1 year? Palantir stock is up about 110% in the past year as investors bought shares of the software platform provider hand over fist thanks to the rapidly growing demand for its AI offerings. And yet, because it has already rallied so far, Wall Street don't anticipate more gains in the coming year. In fact, the average analyst price target is $25, which is a big drop from the current price of $30. And the most recent price targets were set in the past month, but now Palantir has been added to the S&P 500. I expect that analysts will be weighing in with new analysis and new price targets very soon. But can Palantir defy Wall Street expectations and sustain the rally to deliver more gains in the coming year? Palantir's growth profile continues to improve, but a key reason why analysts are doubtful it can deliver more upside over the next 12 months are largely thanks to their already high valuation. With the price to sales ratio of 29, which is nearly 4 times the tech average multiple of 7.7, its forward earnings multiple of 86 points towards a nice bump in its earnings over the next year. But it is still on the expensive side. Palantir expects to finish 2024 with almost $2.75 billion in revenue. That would be a 25% increase over last year. Analysts forecast its earnings will increase by 44% in 2024 to 36 cents per share. But it is worth noting that analysts have been raising their expectations of late. But stronger than expected growth could send Palantir stock higher. In simple words, Palantir's top-line growth could be much stronger than what analysts expect in 2025. The company's remaining performance obligations, or RPO, increased 41% year over year in Q2 to $1.37 billion. Now, this is important, so bear with me for a moment. Palantir's RPO reflects the value of contracts that the company entered into with customers, which means that it is an indicator of its future revenue growth. However, Palantir points out that the RPO mainly consists of commercial contracts. The remaining deal value, the RDV, is the metric to look at to get an idea of the potential top-line growth that Palantir could deliver. RDV is the remaining value of all company contracts at the end of the quarter. This metric was worth $4.3 billion in Q2, jumping 26% from the same quarter last year. Now, it remains to be seen how quickly Palantir can translate those contracts into actual revenue, but it is worth noting that the RDV is significantly higher than its trailing 12-month revenue of $2.5 billion. So if Palantir continues to accelerate and attract new customers, there is a strong possibility of Palantir's growth being better than expected. More importantly, Palantir's deal sizes are getting bigger. As I said earlier, the company closed 96 deals worth 1 million or more in the previous quarter, up from 66 such deals in the same period last year. But Palantir's price earnings growth ratio is well below 1. A reading of less than 1 means that a stock is undervalued in light of its potential growth. So growth investors can still consider buying Palantir stock, as there is a good chance that the stronger than expected performance in the coming year could be rewarded with more gains on the market. Let me know your thoughts on this. Drop a comment below. Are you bullish on Palantir stock in light of these new developments, or do you side with Wall Street analysts who think that the price is still overinflated? Let me know what you think. Remember that I'm not a financial advisor and this is not financial advice, so always do your own research. But if you enjoyed this analysis, then please like and subscribe. I hope you make a load of money on this stock. Follow me on Twitter and I'll catch you in the next